All right, so I'm going to ask this very serious question. Are you sitting down right now? Now, we experience so much of our lives from the seated position, and the health risks are startling. Some of us spending up to 9.3 hours a day sitting down. Well, I suggest you stand up for this one, and it is a bit of a shocker. Take a look. Ooh. Rather alarmingly, it seems that sitting down is becoming the new smoking. We know that school kids sit for the majority of their day immobile, and at work you can often find us sitting staring at our computer screens.
Many of us sit in our cars or on the train when commuting, and when we get home, we like to sit and catch up on series. When seated, we tend to lean forward with a curved back, a position that puts uneven pressure on our spines. Over time, this puts wear and tear on our spinal discs, overworks certain ligaments and joints, and puts strain on muscles that stretch to accommodate our posture.
The harsh reality is that most of us sit for up to 9.3 hours a day. Let's face it, that's more than most of us sleep. Ooh.
We know there are adaptive changes in the body due to prolonged sitting. Specifically, muscles atrophy, muscles become weaker, joints become stiffer. The length of time we sit as well means that often we fatigue and we no longer have a good upright posture. The slouch position puts extra pressure on our lumbar spine, specifically the discs, and also on the upper body around the shoulder blades and the neck region.
This humped shape also shrinks the chest cavity, reducing the amount of space our lungs have to expand into when you breathe.
With so much of our work and our lives revolving around sitting down in a stationary position, it is very difficult to break that cycle. So let's approach it from this angle and investigate what actually happens to your body when you're sitting down.
When we sit, our muscles are bunched up, which blocks off circulation, similar to how water cuffs off when you pinch a hose pipe. The enzymes responsible for breaking down fat plunge, and because of the prolonged inactivity, your muscles begin to break down. Gradually, their contractions become weaker, impeding the pumping of blood to your heart.
It's all about trying to maintain a balance. Prolonged sitting, if you're not moving at some point, your body is going to change, and it's not changing for the better.
So if you're standing and not using an ingenious device like this, you are not getting oxygen into your bloodstream or into your muscles, and most importantly, into your brain.
Just as research shows that exercise doesn't necessarily counteract the negative effects of smoking, it doesn't counteract the negative effects of too much sitting.
Even if you've worked out regularly, the second you stop moving, the deterioration begins. And the scary part is, it's in direct relation to the amount of time that you're sitting down.
Various desk fittings allow you to create raised surfaces from which to work. Wearables like activity trackers help us be more mindful of how much we are actually moving throughout our day, and can be a good way to monitor yourself and also reward yourself for increased mobility.
So in closing, it's time to take a stand, rise up against the seated, get on your own 2 feet, and walk the walk.